Welcome back to Feel the Sting. Today we're welcoming Codie Wahrman, Associate Dean of Students, to chat about campus housing here at MSU Billings. Whether you're just starting your college journey or returning for another year, living on campus offers a really unique experience and a valuable experience as well. So Codie, tell us a little bit about housing at MSUB.
Yeah, so housing is something I'm passionate about. We offer a variety of, I'd say, accommodations for students. The standard residence halls that you have 2 in a room, but we do offer the option to have a single room. In Rimrock Hall, we traditionally have more single rooms over there, and we traditionally put more of our junior, senior students there to provide that more quiet space. Petro tends to be a little bit more of our lively hall, 8 floors and predominantly freshmen.
Alrighty, this one's a little bit barbecue-y if I remember correctly. So shall we cheers our wings?
Cheers.
Cheers.
A little saucy.
A little saucy, yes. So, Codie, what is the role of housing on campus and how does it support students in making the most of their time at MSUB or any college?
So I'd say the role of housing on any campus is to provide students that home. So it's not only a place that you sleep at night, but it's a place that you really develop and grow, and that the Housing Residence Life team, especially here at MSU Billings, is committed to that success and that challenge, and to helping students find their way, whether that's navigating clubs, navigating potentially working in housing or other offices on campus, and providing support when those tough things happen. When students are away from home, we know that tough things happen. Sometimes there might be challenges at home, there might be financial challenges, or sometimes just the challenge of going to class and doing schoolwork. It's different than high school. And so our team's committed to helping the students find their success and find their way in that.
I'm gonna give this one a smell. Yeah, it's got a kick.
Ooh, that one's gonna be hot.
All right, before we get started, for students who are living on campus for the very first time, what is one thing you wish they knew about living on campus?
I think specifically at our institution, students have this feeling that I'm close to home, so there's no need to live on campus. But living on campus provides you a chance to experience stuff that you don't experience other ways. You know, if you have to drive back and forth to campus, chances are if there's a late night program, you're not gonna go, or you're not gonna stay for the whole thing. If there's a late night study group, you might miss out on that organic study time. You know, students don't live in a schedule. And so, you know, it might be like, oh man, we've got a chemistry exam tomorrow and there's 4 or 5 students get together and they study. You miss out on those opportunities. I think students get stuck in the, well, I'm close to home, so it'd be better if I lived at home. But they're truly missing out. So I'd say, at least for that first year, experience it. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But it gives you a chance to at least find and navigate campus and find out all the campus resources. That's the other thing I think students really miss.
Just even the convenience of not having to drive, like when the weather is bad, like that's not something you really think of, but we do live in Montana.
Yeah.
And sometimes the roads are not great, and it's nice that you can just kind of roll out of bed and
Go to class.
And not have to worry about it. And there's food on campus, and you could really just be here and not have to be stressed. Like you can work here, you can do everything on campus. Absolutely.
Well, and like those days when it's below 0, not having to worry if your car's going to start or if you're going to get stuck and have an accident on the way. It's just, that is a real reality with where we live. So it's something that students really should value, and I think parents do, but sometimes, you know, students push back a little bit. That would be my advice, students to live on campus your first year.
Listen to your mom. Go ahead and take a bite of our zestier wing.
Not as strong as I thought.
No, it's almost like a deceptive smell. It does kind of kick in at the end though. As I joke. So we've talked a little bit about kind of like benefits for students directly, but looking beyond that, how does on-campus housing help students find community? You know, maybe if they're not even in a club or if they're just kind of here to go to class.
Well, I think one, there's a team committed to helping them evolve. So every floor has an RA.
What is an RA for those who don't know?
Yeah, so it's a resident assistant. So it's a live-in housing professional essentially, as well as every hall has a hall director that lives on site. And so those people generally can help navigate those challenges with students right away, and also the opportunities. So students that may not be aware that there are opportunities or clubs. But also when you live in a community with people, you sometimes make connections and networking to people you would have never met. And then they help you network to other opportunities and clubs that you might not have even been aware that you were interested in. And suddenly you find something that you I would say the students that I've worked with, the ones that have lived on campus, they really seem to know a lot of people on campus.
Yeah.
Whether that's just students even, or professionals on campus, versus those that just come to campus for class. They're still getting a great education,
Right.
and they know their professors, but there's a good chance they don't know other people, and they don't know the students in the same way. This one doesn't smell very good.
No, it doesn't.
This just smells like I'm gonna cry.
The beast.
Well, before we do that, what are some common myths about living on campus, and what's the truth behind them?
I think the common myths about living on campus are the housing residence life team just want to control you. They want to parent you, and the reality behind that is we don't. We really do treat each resident as if they are a tenant and they have their own space and their own home. And we offer, obviously, community living type environments. So there's lobbies and there's game rooms and computer labs and stuff that are shared spaces. But ultimately, everything that we have in place for them is just a security. The policies and procedures there are really just general campus safety. How do we keep campus safe? So we check in guests so that if something were to happen, we could find the guests. And tracking the residents' paperwork, that's really just so we know that they are still actively going to class. And doing things that their parents would want and ultimately they would want as they graduate, so they don't be like, oh, I missed this.
Yeah.
So we really facilitate a lot of that. But I'd say that's the most common myth is, students move out and say, oh, I move out so I can have freedom. And I think they're going to be surprised when they go and have a landlord. The landlord's asking them for the same thing.
Right. Go ahead and take a bite. Well, that one's for you. Not bad, but doesn't taste great.
No, that one's a pretty gross one. Is it getting hot?
Oh, well. This one I think grows on you a little, if I remember right, yeah. So we talked a little bit about housing security right now. What are some of the security features you guys have?
Like I said, every floor has an RA, and we have hall directors, as well as an operations manager, and then an associate dean and dean that really help mitigate and handle conduct and that type of stuff as well. But security-wise, those RAs perform robes each night. We do have camera facilities on the outside of our buildings too that she's able to watch and UPD is able to watch. Always somebody at the desk. There's always somebody that's first line for the students to be there to help if there's something that comes up.
Now, I think one of the things I heard a lot when I was a student that it's really expensive to live on campus. Is that true?
I think there's a shock value when you first look at the price tag. When you break it out, we've even broken out on our website now to what you would pay per month to live on campus and per month to live off campus. And what students find is there's a pretty good blend.
Yeah.
That there's not much difference. You can get a little cheaper depending on how many roommates you have. But we're not charging security deposits. We're not charging late fees and all these things that they get all the time. And also, we're not charging for utilities. You don't have to worry about utilities going up or down. It's all included in ours. So the price we give is all inclusive versus the price when you go rent something is not. We have high-speed internet. We're constantly updating that infrastructure. Even like things that students don't think about, paper products, paper towels, toilet paper, it's 100% covered in that fee. So they're real comparable in that. I would actually say with our loyalty program that we've launched, we're getting to where we're going to be cheaper and more affordable for students. And then we have a meal plan that does, if you're a resident, you have to have a meal plan. I think students have to think that if you live off campus, you have to have meals too.
And you have to cook, like you have to take time.
Yes, and you have to have the material, you have to have cooking utensils, and you have to have cleaning utensils, and all of these things to do that, plus the time to do it, versus you roll out of bed and you have class at 10 and you roll out of bed at 9, you can go down to the cafe and get something to eat and get to class, versus if you're living off campus, you're gonna have to get ready and drive to campus. But our meal plans are super affordable. We offer a large variety of options for them. So the combined cost, I think, is very similar as if you were to live off campus. You can't even really eat fast food for less than $10 a meal.
True.
And if you figure out what our meal plan's costing, it's well under $10 a meal.
Alrighty, Codie, I have the spiciest question of all for you with the spiciest wing we have. So let's go ahead and take a bite. We'll just make this a really exciting experience for us both.
This smells like it's going to be horrible.
I believe this one has some ghost pepper in it. If MSUB Housing could host a resident life makeover challenge, what would be your winning tip to transform their current spaces into a cozy and functional home? What do you think everyone needs?
Obviously, whatever you want to decorate your walls with, posters, that type of stuff. you know, favorite type of rug or carpet or whatever.
Oh, I would never would have thought of that, yeah.
You know, that changes the feel of a room
Yeah.
100%. Our rooms have hard flooring, so if you're somebody that doesn't want to touch a cold floor in the winter or a warmer floor in the summer, that carpet provides that comfort.
Yeah, and I think our rooms are a little bit unique. They're all preset, but they come with sinks, which is not the case at all housing facilities.
Like most do not. So yeah, we're the rarity. Every room does have a sink, as well as we have there's sinks. There's a sink on each kitchen. Each floor has a kitchenette, and there's a sink outside of each restroom area. So there's lots of sinks on campus, but the residence halls do each room has one, which is really unique, especially in Montana.
Yeah, it's nice to not have to leave to like brush your teeth or get ready in the morning. You can just kind of get up and do your thing and go.
Exactly.
So, yeah. We also have some of the best views on campus.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. So can you talk a little about some of our balconies or?
Yeah, so obviously we have a 6th floor and an 8th floor building. Both of them overlook Billings, truly from like the vantage points of what we'd call the rims. So you get the overlay of the entire city, and you get the mountain ranges behind that. It is a really beautiful and picturesque, and if you haven't seen it, it's hard to describe in words, but it truly is like a painting. If you were to stand on one of our balconies and take a picture, it would be like a wilderness painting, or like a painting of like, here's what the overview of Billings looks like.
For sure. Well, a big thanks to Codie for joining us today and sharing some insights about housing at MSUB. Whether you're moving into residential life for the first time or looking for ways to make your space feel more like home, the housing staff is here to help you out. For more information or assistance, reach out to them at housing@msubillings.edu or stop by their office in the Student Union building. But get ready to enjoy some of the benefits of living on campus. You're home away from home.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The Beast.